Okay.
You won. It's the first time in a while.
It's true. Welcome to Books We Never Read.
Except for those we have.
I'm Jason.
I'm Nicole.
And today is our last reading for Where the Axe is Buried by Ray Nayler.
It is. So if you have not read the entirety of the book, you should stop the video and go finish reading and then come join us on the replay. If you're joining us live, chat us up in the chat box. And if you're catching us on a replay, chat us up in the chat box, whatever it's called. It's different between live and replay. We are on YouTube Music as a podcast. We're on Instagram for the memes. We're on Fable to take notes on the book in between discussions. And we are here today and super pumped. Glad the book is over, Peggy says. Bleak message. Bleak message.
Yep.
Overall, I liked it. I'm glad I read it. I don't know if I have a lot to say about it, but I know I have a lot to think about. Mm-hmm. Like, it's going to marinate for a while.
Yeah. I got on Reddit this morning, and so I think I generally, like, it was fine. Like, good fine. The chat is putting basically, like, 8 ratings. I'm fine with that. I'd go between, like, an 8 and a 7.
This was like a philosophy thing. This was not like an action thing. This was here's a nugget of things to think about.
Yes. I agree that I definitely have a lot to think about. It was a difficult read, partially because there were so many characters. And, like, it just...
Yeah, Nerman showed back up, and I was like, who is this?
Yeah.
I hadn't... Until he mentioned his little AI girlfriend, I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know what's wild is then he was like, and then I ran into George, and I was like, I know who George is.
I was like, who's George?
No, I knew exactly. But, like, why did I know that one? I don't know. There was a lot of moving pieces and a lot of characters because it was trying to explore a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And I think that there's probably a cleaner way to explore all these things without all the characters. But, you know, that's neither here nor there.
But I think one of the important themes here was, I don't remember how he worded it, but it's a series of fools that leads to this thing. Mm-hmm. And so we see Lilia's contribution to it. We see Nerman's contribution to it. We see
yes.
Krotov's contribution to this. Yeah. You know, like, there were a lot of things that led to this end result.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point, right? Like, there's all these pieces that we don't see being connected that come together to this end goal. And that's kind of like what the AI is doing, the PMs are doing when they are doing things like crashing economies and things like that, right? Like, you can't really tell, you know, what's going on. Yeah. I've seen a couple of people say this is Ray Nayler's best work. I think I still like Mountain and the Sea better. Mm-hmm. And I think Mountain and the Sea gives you just as much to think about. Like,
oh, yeah.
The whole, like, philosophy of mind thing is very interesting. I feel like that book gave us more philosophy to think about, and this gave us more... Like, this kind of has, like, some practical issues. Mm-hmm. You know, what if this, then what if this, and what if this? But we don't really get into the, like, ethics of the AI decisions, all that. Like, we leave out a lot of those things, I think. And that's all a little more present in Mountain and the Sea. Everybody's saying they appreciate the story, the origin story of Krotov. I enjoyed the little twist where he's the one who, like, brings it all down in the end and organizes it all. Especially after he gave the doctor that little, like, jump scare about, like, I know about your rocks. But, like, he's the one who organized the rocks.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, that was all very interesting. And it was very satisfying to hear how the title of the book came back around. Mm-hmm. You know, he is, I guess, burying the hatchet or digging the hatchet back up. He is the hatchet.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And the whole time we were thinking, or I was thinking, the axe had something more to do with Zoya, because she literally loved the feel of an axe in her hand and chopping wood.
Right.
And she mentioned it, several times. But she also is a hatchet, right? Like, it's these, there's these very strong views of how the world should be, or how one ended up because of how the world is,
right.
And leading change in that capacity. Both very different motivations, both leading to the same end.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Like, I would see Krotov and Zoya as foils.
Sure.
Complete character opposites.
Yeah. I did enjoy that we got some more of Zoya's book. There was a couple more quotes in there, and I was like, what are we doing? Oh, it's the book.
Yeah.
Right? I thought that was still cool. So the other interesting thing that I've been thinking about is, the whole concept of, like, burying the hatchet, right, is to
let go of a grudge, right?
Well, yes, and to, like, stop arguing, right?
Right.
Like, yeah. And her book is called The Forever Argument.
And
so I've been thinking about that in terms of, she kind of has some of the stuff we get in this book, it's all about power, but it's also about, like, if there's always another predator, right? Like, there's always another thing looking to eat you. And I guess the argument is kind of like about survival. I don't know.
You're only happy when you hear the wolves howling.
Yeah. So that part's actually really interesting, and, like, I semi-agree with that. Like, I do believe that we need struggle to... It's about, like, knowing your territory and, like, knowing your limits and pushing forward, and it's sort of, that, like, why would humans ever leave Earth to go to another solar system? Like it's just in us. Like, we need that struggle and that push and that, like, frontier and, like, the danger. I don't know. But I've been thinking about the forever argument and the axe, and, like, what does this mean? Like, have we achieved an end to the argument at the end of the book? I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Well, no, but there's been a great reset.
Correct.
And tons of people will be dead, and they'll start over. This book is just full of just polar opposites, dichotomies to examine, and it is that way because life is that way. Every 4 years or whatever, there's this argument of, well, should it be a Republican? Should it be a Democrat in America? And no matter what, it's probably all the same.
Yeah. Well, and so even if it's not the same in terms of policy, it is the same in terms of structure.
Yeah.
And, you'll hear people talk about this sometimes, like, is there structural inequality, or is, like, there structural deficits, I was actually having this conversation with somebody the other day about, like, if two people are competing for a job, and let's say, like, let's say, like, one is an American citizen and one is not. Like, should we prefer one over the other or whatever, right? And you can have whatever thoughts you want to have about that. But I kind of, like, took it deeper and was like, but what about, like, why are we even having to have these two people, like, compete against each other to feed their families? Like if the non-American gets the job, like, why is the American guy, like, why is he not gonna be able to, like, what's up with that, right? And that's, like, the structure of our system. Like, why aren't we have this thing where, like, we organize our society in certain ways and power is concentrated in certain places. And that's one of the interesting things about, like, the Federation in this book, is they keep talking about the West and everybody's free and everybody's this and that. And I was just like, I don't know, man, at the beginning of this book, we really hit on some parts, especially with Palmer, where I was like, that doesn't sound free. Like, is it freer? Or are you free just because you can't see the bars of your prison,
Right. Yeah.
So, this is similar to Zoya, right? It's like, was Zoya free when she lived out in the woods with her robot chopping wood? No.
No, she was literally imprisoned.
But could she see the bars of her prison?
Right.
No.
Shelby and Peggy are discussing that not fighting is not agreeing, and we see that in the fable about the community that lived in complete peace and had no fighting until they all met together to discuss and realize they were all unhappy with the situation.
Right.
Like they did not agree, even though they weren't fighting.
And that story comes back around, right? With like now basically the idea is like the AI has burned down the village, right? Like it's sent us back. We all got too comfortable. We are all like too good, like following the rules, and society had sort of like stagnated. I really feel like this chunk of the reading is kind of hitting on something I was thinking about last week with just like the pace of change has slowed, right? Like do you remember that conversation? And that seems like the AI is like, all right, like we've stagnated, we've like settled into this way of being. What if we just like burn down the system? And Nerlin kind of has this conversation. Like there are people all across the city trying out different ways of being a community,
Yeah. Yeah, the thing that we feared from AI was a foot crushing us.
Yes.
That doesn't make any sense. There's nothing to lead if the world is destroyed.
Right.
AI, the danger in too much AI is our over, dependence on it.
Yeah.
And then losing it suddenly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love how they were like, yeah, but these old laptops are working.
Yeah.
With these lithium-ion batteries and these silicone whatever.
Well, and he's talking to his taxi driver, right? And the taxi driver is like, I mean, it only takes a generation of people to forget how to drive.
Yes.
And this is something I've actually thought about with like self-driving cars because I'm excited about the concept because I think people are idiots.
Yeah.
However, like what if there's like some like, I don't know, like electro pulse attack or
big
something.
solar flare.
Yeah, whatever. And we
yeah.
can't drive. Yeah.
Right.
But like, okay, let's take that to another extreme. Like what happens when we can't argue and agree and do politics anymore because we've outsourced that to somebody else,
Right.
And I think it's Krotov at some point says like everybody's a politician or the president, as Zoya as the president says that.
Yeah.
But like what if we gave that up and we could not do that anymore?
Right. And that is a danger. Like the big struggle that we've always had in school, and it's not like public school or, education, is getting kids to understand that one of the biggest points of school is to teach you how to problem solve, how to critically think. It's not about getting the answer right, even though that's where you get most of your points.
Right.
It's about figuring stuff out and learning how to struggle and learning how to persevere. And that's a challenge now because they can use AI for anything. And everyone's like, well, AI is ruining it. Well, no, because kids always found another way, right? It's stealing the answer key from behind the teacher's desk. It's paying someone else to do their work for them. It's, that's been going on since school, So like that is the struggle. And it's just easier and easier now for anyone to find their answer somewhere else without having to think it through. And that is dangerous, to forget how to think.
Yes.
But we see Nerman or whatever, he was the dopiest one of all, right? Like, or kind of perceived that way. Like he fell in love with AI and just blindly did the things that it told him to do without thinking because his tablet told him to do it. And, went TT at the factory because it was time for him to go TT at the factory.
Well, it's Palmer. But,
oh, yeah. But still,
but
same,
still both
they were the
them.
same person in this book.
Interesting.
But Nerman is the first one that we see actually thriving in this collapsed world where he can choose to get up each day and go answer the flag and see how he can help. But he also knows he could take a day off if he needed to. He hadn't yet.
Yeah. Well, because it's not like optimized, right? Like, and this is something I keep coming back to, right? Like about efficiency and optimization, and like that's one of the things that I think bothers me about the way that we do things. And that's not like a criticism of AI; it's a criticism of the structure of our society.
Yeah.
Right? And like it's when these people saying outrageous stuff on the internet, not because they believe it, but because they know it will give them more views, right? Like it is literally incentivized by the structure. And then we see that and we think like, this is the way the world is, but it is not,
And we are not meant to be optimized. You know what I mean? Like we require rest. And well, I mean, I guess that should be part of optimization, but like we have all of these technologies that have improved our efficiency. We can get so much more work done in a day than we were able to do in a week before. but we don't get more time off. We're still processing
Right,
all of
yeah,
these
sure.
things and taking in all this information.
Yeah.
Our brains cannot handle all of that.
Sorry. I think generally, like, I would say that, like, biologically, we are actually optimized. Like that's sort of what, like, evolution does,
Well,
right?
yes, but I don't mean
correct.
optimized like
No,
this.
no, no, I understand. But, like, despite being, like, and I'm not saying that we're perfect. You're optimized for an environment or whatever, right?
Right.
But then we have this, like, other world of math and numbers and efficiency and, or whatever, right? Yeah. Before we go too far, can I ask what is going on with the bear story? It came back again. Can somebody explain? What was the deal there? The bear that was a man, and then it was just like, oh, cool,
And if you want
you could just
if you want some soup, just take off your bear suit and come inside.
I'm still not sure what that means. I didn't understand that part.
But it meant something to Lilia.
Mm-hmm.
She saw the
Yes.
bear when she was controlling that.
Yes.
I see it as a AT-AT or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know what it was, but
Yeah,
that's
it looks
how
like
I saw it.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, how did she come to control that thing? She commanded it to destroy the house.
Yeah.
How? With her thoughts.
Yeah. Well, and part of it was that, like, it seems to have been like an old, like, war walker that had been repurposed because it attacked.
Oh, yeah, because they have flashbacks.
Yeah, they have flashbacks. Yeah.
Little
I thought
trauma
that was kinda
flashbacks. Poor thing.
cool. Peggy says, no idea about the bear story. She even put that in Fable.
Yeah.
Like, no idea. I would like to understand the bear story. I think there's something there, but I'm just going to have to do some digging.
Well,
She entangled to the war walker.
okay, that's what I thought. With the bear story, Krotov told Nikolai at one point, now that I know, you can just be yourself. And I wonder if that's kind of related to the bear story as well. The man who was a bear just woke up one day and was a bear. He really wanted to come inside for some soup for an easier life. And all he had to do was take his suit off. All he had to do was shed the layer and come inside. And so I don't know if that's maybe a metaphor for like the masks that we wear, the added layers of burden that we add on unnecessarily. But I mean, I don't know.
I feel like it's like a very Federation story, right? Like, I feel like you have to be like in that culture.
That's
for
a
it to,
Russian.
like,
Yeah.
I feel like you have to be like in that culture for it to make sense, because otherwise you're just like, what are y'all talking about?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna do some more digging. I want to understand. I do. One other thing I want to point out, right? Like, we're talking about, like, okay, so the crash of the AI, and there's a reset, and now we're gonna like play around with these organization, like different ways of organizing. One of the last scenes that we have is all these little girls playing with one of the robotic seagulls and like reprogramming it. Like they are figuring out how to make it work.
Yeah.
And so, like, there's this other thing. There's sort of this bit there at the end where you're like, yeah, but like, how long is this gonna work for? You know?
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I mean, it's just natural. Just like it's natural for us to want to explore space, even though we know it's going to kill us off and it's dangerous, and we are going to figure these things out. We're naturally curious and like to have challenges. And
Shelby saying the bear thing is about, you have to change everything about yourself to make things easier. Like, you must conform. And so Peggy says, so maybe the bear suit, let's go. Shelby says, I can see the bear story being a nod to communism. Everyone's a cog in a wheel. Shelby says the bear suit is, we all wear masks and suits and coats to hide who we are, which just takes us further from others. Why not just be us? Yeah. I think we're probably like on the right track here. Some way.
Mr. Nayler, are you there? Shed some insight.
Well, we invited him.
I would just fall apart. Okay. someone in the Fable, and I'm trying to find it now, talked about the chapter with Lilia's dad and him, you know, worried that he ruined his daughter's life and all that. And then, and really, I guess that's kind of the last chapter, but realizing at the end, like, she's probably still alive. Like, he just has that gut feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I forgot where I was going with it.
I feel like his POVs are one of the chapters that, like, we could have done without. You know, he serves to show us, like, the dark side of the Federation, but, like, I could have just bought that. Like, you know, I didn't, like, have to see it. But there's also, like, the humanity of it, right? Like, some dude recognizes him from the war times and gives him his pills and his sleeping bag and all that stuff, you know? But still, I wasn't sure where we were going. And, like, I guess it's, like, an interesting exploration of, like, how do you raise your kids when you need to conform, but, like, you're a bear at heart, I suppose, right? Like, if we're trying to use this metaphor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like that Lilia did make a difference somewhere, even though she wasn't there. You know, that little quote that she had from a child, like realizing that everyone's stardust and all that. I thought that was kind of cool.
Peggy says there was dad trauma in there. You're right.
Yeah. Dad trauma for sure.
You know, so we're talking about, like, the way the system is, and, like, you know, we're changing, like, policies, but not the system. And so I'm thinking that in terms of the PMs in the West and all that. But, like, the same thing happens in the Federation. Before Zoya takes over the president, when he is the new president, he's like, all right, we're going to change the way things were happening, right? Everybody can travel around their city and their area, and we're giving everybody 50 points on your social credit score, which is, like, cool policy, but the structure is the same, right? Like, it's still this
We
structure.
have a social credit score.
Yeah.
We have limitations on our travel.
It's like giving people a $2,000 stimulus check. Like, that. Okay, that's cool, but, like, there's still this system where, like, we can't pay our medical bills, man.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
You've given us this $2,000 stimulus check, but we're still in a situation where, first of all, we were broke before this. We desperately needed this $2,000 just to cover our grocery credit card. Like, yeah. So the dad trauma in this book, Lilia's dad, I think is coming from Ray Nayler himself. So he wrote, did y'all read the acknowledgement?
I guess not.
It's very, very short, and it's very insightful. But he basically was saying that, like, since he had his daughter, everything that he writes is thinking about what kind of world is she going to live in, and wanting young people to have a future to look forward to and not dread.
Interesting. I'll have to go back and read.
Yeah, Lydia, our daughter, was born a month before I began The Mountain in the Sea. She was 4 while Where the Axe is Buried was being written. She's completely changed my outlook on life. My concern for her future is the main driving force behind this book's creation and behind all of my writing. I want her to live in a better world than the present one, a world where authoritarian government is the rarest aberration, and the future is something her generation thinks of with excitement and optimism, not dread. Anyway, y'all should totally read the acknowledgement because it's good.
Yeah. So the chat's now talking about the Wasp Lady.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Okay. Well, before I say my piece, why don't you say yours?
No, tell me what y'all think about the Wasp Lady. She
Well, they were just.
pissed me right off. Freaking weirdo.
Yeah, they were just talking about how she would, like, stand in different places of the room to dream about different dead people or whatever. But, like, I don't know what to do with that part, honestly.
That was why she's, like, poisoned herself with these wasps. There's some kind of chemical secretion making her crazy.
But the part I got about the wasps was about, like, the variety of wasps, even to the point where ants and something else are just, like, degraded versions of wasps and all that. And then there's a wasp that hunts wasps and all that. And this kind of goes back into the every predator has a predator conversation. But I think it's also about, like, diversity in structure and diversity, like, you know, in this case it's biodiversity, but it's what the AI are trying to achieve, right? We were all going towards the direction of like one single wasp, you know, and then like what happens when that food source dies out or whatever, right? Like then it's over. And so I don't know, like, you know, and we have wasps come up a lot in this book as predators, you know, but and honestly, it's like weapons of the state, I suppose. But there's always a bigger fish, right?
She really just turned Lily in like that.
Yeah. But then they like the guys that picked her up like didn't kill her and let her like
Weird.
keep walking around. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Again,
I feel
mean,
like
that
Krotov was
all
involved.
Krotov.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, except he said that he did feel bad about calling for her death.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So
He did.
who
who stopped it?
who called that off?
Well, maybe those guys just like didn't want to play ball anymore because like what's the point? You know, maybe the president did. Zoya. It's possible.
Okay, so sorry to go. Well, were we done talking about the wasps?
That's fine. Yeah.
Oh, she was just terrible. The video that Krotov recorded, he's destroying the dioramas, right?
That's what they don't call them dioramas.
Well, that's just what Lilia called them.
Yes, but they look different. They call them terminals, like their iPads. That's what it's specifically called in the book, and it wasn't clear to me what's going on there. And Nikolai had no idea what was happening, but I did think that. I assume that it's dioramas because there's sort of this conversation about like I'm using this technology one time, right, to infect the mind of the president, and then I hope it never comes back because it's not AI that's the problem; it's this thing, you know. But yeah, I believe it was the dioramas, but it is called terminals.
That Nikolai didn't watch the whole video.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
He's like, this has nothing for me.
Yeah.
I just want to get back to my family.
Yeah.
I want nothing to do with this anymore. I wouldn't have been able to put it. I like, just like knowing everything.
We finally get to hear Krotov's joke, and in classic Federation style, it's not funny and it's not a joke.
I don't even remember what it was. I remember thinking like, finally, and then
Right.
I don't remember what it was.
Really, the joke is that he is the one bringing down the system. Like that's sort of the joke. Yeah.
Sorry, you were a drowned baby.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole thing was strange.
Yeah, I couldn't help but think of like the WASP acronym as well, and wondered if that was I don't know any kind of
Maybe.
Quilizabeth. Why'd Quilizabeth enter the chat? Forgot about her. When's that movie coming out?
I don't know. We still need to go see Project Hail Mary.
Yes, we do. Gold star for remembering Quilizabeth. Someone else gave out a gold star. Someone made some other connection.
Yeah. With well met of all things. I know.
I'm gonna have to go back and read.
Purple star.
What the heck? Funny. I mean, that's why we read, to make these connections.
You know, I also think that this book would have been, I don't know, the more I'm talking about it, the more I'm like, yes, I have a lot to think about. And I knew I had a lot to think about, but now I'm like, it's helping me draw these pieces together in speaking it. I think we took too long on it. And I think it would have hit me harder
Oh, sure.
if we had read it a little like a little faster.
I'm not mad that we drew it out because I have other hobbies right now that I needed to spend my time on.
Yeah, honestly, I don't have. Yeah.
Phocopia.
Yep.
So that was fine by me. But I do think it would have been more effective, more potent had we read it faster.
Yeah.
But you never know. And I was worried that we would need to go slower because it would be complex.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it presents the ideas in a narrative enough way that like you can bop right along, you know. So.
Excuse me.
Soggy. Yeah, I guess that's about it for me, honestly.
I would read another.
Absolutely.
Nayler. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So far, both of his books have been thought-provoking
Yes.
and enjoyable to read.
Yes. The newest one is not like futuristic.
No, I think it's like right now.
I thought it was in the past. I may be wrong. Is the one with like the owl on the cover?
I don't know.
We'll have
Tusks
to pick, yeah.
of Extinction.
Okay, so that one's older.
Yeah.
The newest one is red and it has like an owl. And it's like coming out like now-ish.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw him advertising it on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah, I'll take a look.
But yeah, we'll pop it on the list, and when we're ready for... I think now we kind of know. We know what we're going to get with him.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a good... I don't know. We'll kind of know when we're in the mood for another Ray Nayler. But yeah, keep it coming.
And we need to put out a syllabus on Fable for our next book.
Yes.
What's the next book called?
I think it's called The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, but I don't remember.
Yeah. We never put something up on YouTube about it. So
I did.
On YouTube? Well,
yes.
No, but it wasn't like a video. The people wanted a video.
Oh.
So we just need to like make a little announcement to let people know.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Is that the book? It came out of
Shelby has
nowhere.
heard mixed things about our next book.
Ooh. Well, so when I picked it, I was really in the mood for something like the Night Circus-esque. I was like wanting that vibe again. And so that's where it came from. Yeah, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V. Schwab.
Fun.
Is that the same person that wrote?
No.
Who wrote Dr. Norrell and Mr. Norrell and Dr. whatever?
It's in my head, but I can't remember.
Dr. Norrell. Who is it? Which way is it?
Dr. Norrell, Mr. Strange.
Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. Oh, it's Susanna Clark. Okay.
Because she did Night Circus.
No, she did
We did another one by her, right?
Piranesi.
Oh, you're right.
Wasn't that?
Yes. No, you're absolutely right. Yes. You're absolutely right. All right. We all wrapped up?
I think so.
Good discussion. Thanks, everybody, for playing along. I'm excited about our next book. We have a ton of good stuff on the list right now. Like, there's so much I want to be reading.
Yeah, and I went off list to get this book because we have this great list, and all of a sudden, I just wanted something different than what was on the list. Why am I like that?
I don't know. I wish I could tell you.
Give a mouse a cookie.
If you give a mouse a cookie, they're gonna pick a book with 3 stars. No, I'm just kidding. It has more than 3 stars. I'm just joking.
It does have more than 3 stars.
I'm just joking. All right, so go ahead and pick up your copy of what?
The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue.
Yep, that's right. And we will put out our syllabus on Fable. We will make an announcement on YouTube. We can put the syllabus in the comments for that, and we'll cover it everywhere.
We'll do all the things.
Yep. I think we have Easter coming up on one of these weekends. I don't know if we are worried about it.
The 5th.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. Cool. See y'all next time.
Happy reading.
Bye.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about Palmer's Gray Soul Swirl.
Now what?
What